Hello everybody and welcome to the SmarterU Escalante release. I am Dan Bulhassan, your presenter. I'm also founder and president of Neovation, the parent company for SmarterU. Our team is always working hard for you. We have a number of great enhancements that we're releasing this release, and we have 6 major releases over the course of this year. The Escalante release is named after Jamie Escalante, who's an immigrant from Bolivia to the US. Now, you can read more about him, but what Jamie did is he really bucked the status quo in schools that had students and learners that others viewed as, let's say, unworthy, unable to learn. He really pushed the students hard to the point that many lives were turned around. And in fact, he was recognized as the best teacher in America in the late 80s, widely recognized to the point that there was a film made after him that you may have heard of called Stand and Deliver, and An Asteroid. Jamie really changed education and learning outcomes for many students and the education system by not allowing the common perception that students from certain socioeconomic um, uh, uh, geographies or communities would not be able to learn and excel. And this quote from him about the key to success being hard work for both the teacher and the student alike, I think is very meaningful and something that we should consider always as folks in education, that it's going to be hard work for the teachers and for the students, because if it's unbalanced, then you're not going to get the right outcomes. We have many major items that we've released. Long anticipated our email template builder. It's in preview, so we'll be able to show you that. The ability to have multiple supervisors, the options for the learners to control their presence on a waiting list, the ability to send out waiting list reminders to let learners know that there's seats that are still available for a course, batch unenrolling learners, and the ability to edit ILT points that are earned. So we'll go over those fairly quickly, but you can find out all of this information on our help system. So let's have a quick look at that first. Our help system you can find at help.smarteru.com, and it has extensive information about all of our functionality. We like to think that we have the most robust documentation of any LMS on the planet. So you can find everything there. There's a category for release notes. And within that category here, you can click on the Escalante release and you can see all of the different updates that we've released. So we're just going to go over the major items here, but there's many more items that have been released, and you can definitely encourage you to have a look here. Now, we do release these throughout the 8-week release period, so you can see a date here as to when we've released various enhancements. And so we're always every week sending out minor updates, so you can always come back here and see what's been pushed out each week as well, because this gets built up over time. If you have any questions, I encourage you to reach out to our support team, support@smarteru.com, and they will be very happy to help you. With that, let's jump in, and we're going to be looking at our demo site, which is training.phoenixshoes.com. So everything that you see here is part of our fictional Venus Shoes Company. Now, the first thing we're going to look at is our email template builder. So I'm going to flip over to our account dashboard here. Now, before we get into it, let me just clarify. This is in preview, which means that it's not live. You have the ability to edit and customize your email templates, and then in our December release, we will be modifying all of SmarterU to use these templates. So you can customize them now, and they're going to be activated in December. However, one thing to note is that you'll still have the option in December to actually enable your customizations. So the reason why we did that is because we know that many of our clients will want to go in and start customizing their email templates first, and so you can do that. But to have it enabled on your account, you do need to reach out to our support team. So just open a ticket with support@smarteru.com, reach out to them, they'll enable it for you, and then at that point, you're going to have this email template builder option that's going to show up on your admin system. So let's go into that now. So what you're going to see is that there's an email type entry here for every single type of email that we send out in SmarterU. So there's 38 of them in total here, and we can flip between the pages. So there's a template now for every single email. So if I just want to look at them, so let me find the confirm attendance template. So this is currently what the confirm attendance template looks like. That's what it looks like in English. Let me see what it looks like in French, etc. So this is the template. Now, if you don't do anything, that's what's going to continue being used, just like it is now. However, if you want to modify it, you can make a copy of it. And then in the content section now, you can modify it. So you can add content there, you can add images, I can bold content, I can make it a heading, lots of different options that you have there. Got a great editor here that you can take advantage of. And what you have is a number of variables. So over time, many of our clients have said, we want to be able to customize these emails, but we also want to be able to add additional fields of information. So let's say for some reason that I want to add a course description to it. I can just select it. Oops, let me do that again here. I can select the course description and then I can drag it in. So now I can, I don't know, let's see here. I can center that. I can open it up. Maybe I want to make it larger, so I'll do that and I'll bold it. Whatever you want to do, you now have the ability to do. And when you save that, again, it's going to save it as an override within the system. So when you come back to your email template builder page here, you'll see that the confirm attendance entry has two templates. So if I click on that, I can see the default one. It says type of system. And then I can see the one that I've created, which is a custom type. And if I want to preview that, I'll just click the preview here and I can see my different previews options. Now, it does put in a description here, so you can see that. So you can see the fact that this is what it's going to really look like. And again, you can customize it for any of the languages that you've got turned on. So you can have full control over your multilingual content here. So really, really great. Now, the other thing I'm going to talk to you about is snippets. So let's say that you had a piece of content that you wanted to include on every single email. So for instance, you wanted to have a piece of content that was on the footer of your email that was always a custom footer, and you wanted to include it in every one of them. What you can do is you can do that with snippets. So I can go into the snippet here. I can call it custom footer, give it an ID here, and now I can put in whatever text. I don't know, maybe it's a copyright notice. Oh, a little ahead of myself. And I can save that. And then I can include that because in the variables section here, you can go to another email template and select your snippets, and then you'll see it here, and you'll see your custom footer, and you can just add that to all of your emails. And what's valuable about that is that you can then just make the modification once to your snippet, and since you've already included it into all your other email types, it'll automatically, if you modify the snippet, it'll automatically inherit that in all of your different email types. So this is huge. This is lots of great functionality. You guys are going to love this. I know it's one of the areas that we've been asked for years, to have greater control over email templates. So again, as of now, you're going to be able to modify these templates yourself and prepare the customizations, but you do need to contact support, have it enabled for your account. And then in December, after our December 2nd release, you'll be able to activate all of your custom emails. So you can prep them all now, then you can activate them in December when we release the updated engine that actually drives all of our emails that are going to use these templates. So I'm sure you're going to really love that. Great functionality that we've been asked for quite a bit. All right, let's change gears now and talk about multiple supervisors. I'm going to go over to our user dashboard. So before this release, we've always had the ability to have supervisors, and supervisors have supervisory dashboards, and you can have certain things like reporting and the ability to enroll for supervisors of users. So we've always had that ability, but it's always been one supervisor per person. Now we have the ability to set multiple. So I'll just bring up a sample user here. You can see that Robin has Stephen O'Neill as her supervisor, and now I can just pick Pierre Bellamy and Kevin Black as well. And so now I've got multiple supervisors. Now all the functionality in the system, the ability you have to control what can supervisors do, can they do enrollments, can they run reports on status, the supervisory dashboards, etc. All of that will work with multiple supervisors now. So it's exactly the same, except you can associate multiple supervisors. Let's talk about waiting lists. So I'll go over to my learner side here. Now, by the way, many of you already know this, but just in case you don't, you can customize all of this menu content here. So you can add categories of content, you can add custom pages, many different page types. If you have any questions about that, check out our help system or contact support. I'm going to go to the My Waiting List page type, which you may not have enabled on your account, but you certainly could. If you're using instructor-led training, you're going to want to have this enabled if you're using waiting lists. So I can see that I'm waiting on a couple of different courses here. And so I'm on the course level waiting list, and I have 2 sessions that are available. So let me click on that because maybe I want to enroll in one of those sessions. So I can see here the November 1st session, it's got availability, and I can enroll. So I'm going to click enroll on that, and I've got a learning plan, so I'm going to say that yes, I want this to credit over to the learning plan and click enroll. Now here's what's new. Previously, when I as a learner would do this, if I was already on the course level waiting list, then I would stay on the course level waiting list. However, maybe I don't want to be on the course level waiting list anymore. I was only there to be notified about new sessions, but now that I'm enrolling, I don't want to be there anymore. So if that's the case, I can just select remove from waiting list. And now if I register, and assuming there's still seats by the time I actually hit the button and I successfully register, it'll take me off the course level waiting list. Or I can leave myself on it because maybe this is a session that I want to continue to be notified about new sessions for, right? So what we're doing now is we're giving your learner the option here that they can decide how they want to deal with their waiting list entries. Now, let's continue talking about waiting lists for a moment. Because we have another option that we've done, which is to enable waiting list reminders. So let's say that you've got a session, the session is going to be starting shortly, and you still have a few different seats in it, and you want to have an automatic email that goes out. So I'm going to flip over to our admin system here and go into settings. So if you want to have an automatic email that's sent out to your learners to let them know that there are seats still available, that you now have the ability to turn that on and have that automatic email generated. So we'll go down to email options. And right here, we have the ability to enable waiting list reminder. And so if we turn that on, I can say 3 days in advance of the session start date, I want everybody who's waiting, who's on the session waiting list, to be notified that there are seats available, and they'll have a link that they'll be able to then do the enrollment. Now that is on a first come, first served basis. So if it goes out to 10 different people, whoever is quickest to be able to enroll will get those enrollments. Everybody else will be notified that there aren't seats available if they do try to enroll. So this way it automates that process. If there's seats available, we want you to be able to fill up those seats, and this is a mechanism to allow you to do that. Within SmarterU, there's an option called Points and Rewards, which is a piece of functionality which you can use to associate and allocate, let's say, points to learners when they complete certain actions. So if I complete a course, I can get 5 points. These are very, very multifunctional. So you can use these for things like continuing education credits. You could also use them for things like safety points. You can run contests with it. There's the ability to have leaderboards that you can set up. So these are very, very multifunctional. One of the things that you've always been able to do since we've had points is to be able to allocate points when a learner completes an instructor-led training course. However, what happens if the learner comes in halfway through? Maybe you're going to give everybody 10 points if they attend the course, but a particular learner comes in halfway through, and you don't want to give them all of those points. Previously, you had to do an adjustment later on, but we've added a new update now which will allow you to customize those points right on the instructor-led training attendance page, which is where we're at now. So let's see an example of that. So this is just a test session. Obviously, we've got one learner and a Pierre. We're going to say that Pierre has attended, Pierre has completed the course, and Pierre has passed. And we want to modify the points. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to see that Pierre would earn 10 points, but Pierre now is going to earn 5 points. So Pierre is now going to only get partial points. So when I save and finalize the session now, Pierre gets 5 points instead of 10, but I could have other people on there that all have earned 10 because, they showed up on time and they stayed for the full session. So those are the major updates, but please, I recommend go to our release notes page and look at all of them because there's 30 or so different updates in all. All of these items are items that you, our users, have asked us for. Every week we triage requests, and we always want to hear from you as to how can SmarterU work even better for you. So please encourage you to continue sending us your enhancement requests. And if you have any questions, check out our help system. Email us at support. Either way, we're going to be very happy to hear from you and work with you. Thank you very much.